Hi, I'm Stephen. I want to speak to you today about the international eradication of poverty. I live in Cornwall, and I've been working on a farm all my life, and I've always been in poverty. I think it's because of the wages in Cornwall are so low. Minimum wage. It was hard to live. Had to use the food banks for a time or two, and it's a struggle. When you're on minimum wage, it's a struggle to survive. I worked on farms all my life, and it was a struggle. And my daughter also, she left school, went on to the hotel job, and she was on minimum wage as well, and she's still living in poverty. Although she's a head of department of an hotel, she's still living in poverty. Her children has to have the food while she goes without. And I think that's so wrong on every level. I was pulled into poverty through my work. And in Cornwall, poverty is pretty rife. It's pretty bad. My daughter's been in it as well, and she's had a struggle. She's pulling out of it a bit now, but she's had to struggle. And food banks are popping up everywhere in Cornwall. There's not a lot of people to man them. The people who are manning these food banks are struggling to keep everyone going. There's areas in Cornwall that are really bad in poverty. It's so soul destroying to listen to what people say, and we see these things. Poverty is such a bad thing in Cornwall. The wages, if only people had a decent living wage, they would be able to survive. So it's so important for us to get the message out there. I feel so passionate about people in poverty, as I've done it myself. So I know exactly what it's all about. I've struggled myself, and it's so far away from the big cities, isn't it? It's so far away from big cities, just so different. I guess the wages in the big city is a lot higher than what they are in Cornwall. But Cornwall's so bad at the moment, really bad with poverty. You see it every day. It's so strange. It's so wrong as well. But even this universal credit. Now, I've never been on universal credit, as I am on my EESA and PIP. And it's better than universal credit. I have to admit, it's better than universal credit. I think this £20 uplift that they gave the universal credit claimants through the pandemic, it was so important to them. It's not a big lot of money, you might think, but to people on universal credit, it's a lot of money. And they're just now the government's taking it away, or the DWP's taking it away from the people on universal credit. It's so wrong. People with that £20 extra is big for the people on universal credit. It's so huge. And the government, the councils aren't really doing anything to combat this poverty. The government's not, they're taking this £20 away uplift, which is going to be a big knock-on effect to the people on universal credit. It's going to be such a big knockback. Then people are going to be using food banks more. It's so wrong on every level. As I've like I say, I've been through it before, and I know what it's like. And there's thousands of people out there going through the same thing, and it's awful. It's really awful. I just don't. It's awful. Really bad.